Hi, I'm Margaret Lewin and welcome to Margaret Lewin Quilting. Today we are going to be making an Ohio Star block. I have a real soft spot for the Ohio Star. It's one of my favorite quilt blocks and I love how mine turned out, especially with my little bumblebee in the center. So if you'd like to see how I did make this block, please stick around and I'll show you how. Here are all my pieces. We are going to now make what's called the Ohio Star. So let's get going with it. The first thing I need to do is I need to make half square triangles. That's the first thing I need to do. So I'm going to set these aside because, well, this one I need. These are the three fabrics that I'm going to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the back side of both of these. And this is the same as what we've been doing, so you can line up your 45-degree on one of the straight lines to make certain that you're nice and straight. And then I'm just going to take one of my friction pens and I'm just going to draw my line. There's that one. And now this one. Then I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on each side of that drawn line. So first thing I'm going to do is take and put these two together so you can see my stitching line. What I'm going to do is I am going to pin this just to keep it stable. I'm sorry, I'm going to take these two. These are the two that I need. I had the wrong one. That's my center. So I'm going to take these two and I'm going to line these up and do the same thing. Pin them, then I'll take them over to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew them. Once I've gotten it sewn 1/4 inch on each side, I'm going to come back and let you see what the next step is to do. You can see here that I have sewn my seams. The first thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is I am going to cut these apart. And as you can see, I just use my scissors. I think it's just as easy just to use my scissors and cut it than it is to get a ruler and line it up and then cut it. So I just do it this way. Once I've done this, the next thing that I have to do is I have to press, I have to set my seams. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is just set my seams. And I do that just simply by setting my iron down. And now I'm going to press my seams to one side. This time I'm not going to press them open. I'm going to press them to one side. And what I'm going to do is always press them to the pink side. Alright, so I'm going to take it and just put it down. And there we go, there's one. Then once I've done this, what I'm going to do is, what we're making here are these blocks, and what they're called is 1/4 square triangles. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two fabrics and I'm going to butt those seams right up together. Okay, and by pressing them to one side, always the same side, what I can do is I can feel that, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Look. When I fold it back, you can see what happens is those two seams just kind of slide right in together. The next thing that I want to do when I sew this, I gotta move that just a little bit, got out of shape a little. When I sew this, I want to start here and I want to cross this piece. I want this to go underneath my presser foot first. And the reason for that is because if the fabric's going to move, what it's going to do is it's going to shove it right into that corner, right into that other fabric, so that those two seams butt up really nicely together. All right. So I am going to first take my ruler and I'm going to draw a diagonal line from corner to corner. There's my line. Next, I'm going to pin them, and I'm going to pin them right here on this one, making sure my seams are still buttoned right together, and then right here. Do that on both of them. Two more pins. Right, now I'm going to go sew on both sides of these lines. Alright, so over to my sewing machine I go. I'll come back and show you how we press next, and we have to square up. So I'll be back in just a minute. I've sewn my seams, see? And now I'm going to cut these on the line again. Then I'll press them. Obviously I can't press them yet because my lines to cut will disappear. So the first thing I do is cut them. Then I'm going to set my seams. And then I am going to press. Now, this time, I am actually going to press them open. So, let me grab my strip stick. I'm just going to take these. I'm going to lay it over. Now I'm going to press my seams. Okay, turn this around. I'm going to press this a little bit more. Now I'll lay it flat and give it one last press. Alright, I'm going to do that to the rest of these, and then once I've done that, I will be squaring these up, and I'll come back and show you that too. I've gone ahead, I've pressed all of them, and now I'm going to start squaring them up. If you take the full size of your quarter square triangle block and you divide it in half, what you can do is you can take your ruler and following on the 45-degree line, you can use whatever arrow ends up in the center on the 45-degree, and right here on mine, it's right here. I can use that arrow to line up so that it is right at the center of my quarter square triangle. Then what I can do is just line it right up the rest of the way on the 45-degree line. So I know my block's going to come out square. So I'm going to hold it down, and then I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to square up each side. Oops. Then I'm going to take my piece, I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do the exact same thing again. The only difference this time is I have another alignment spot. So I align here, here, and here, and then right down straight through there, so that I know that my quarter square triangle is square. Okay, so there's one, 3 more. Alright, all 4 of my blocks are cut and squared, so I'm ready to go. This is the diagram that I'm using. So I'm going to start by placing my centerpiece, which is a solid block. Then I'm going to take and just set these around the block, because it's very easy to tell that that green goes in the middle. One more. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is place my 4 corners. I guess I should need to come this way a little bit, don't I? There's 1, whoops, 2, 3, slide this one over, and 4. I'm going to put this together exactly how I've done all of the other ones. I am going to first sew my rows together, then I'll sew my block together. I am going to stop and I will press these seams open this time so that these seams here will lay nice and flat. I'll be back once I've gotten the whole piece put together and show it to you. I'll flip it over and show you how I sewed the back too. So I'll be back in just a minute. So here's my block all sewn together. I'm very happy with how it's come out. On the top and bottom rows, I press them towards the solid block, and on the center row, I press them in towards the center. Then when I put the rows together, you can see I did press those seams open, and this has given me pretty nice flat corners there. So here's my block. It is all done and ready to go with the other ones. And next we will be working on, I believe, the sawtooth star block. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end with me. If you like this video and would like to see more videos like this, please do give this a thumbs up. And if you have not already, please do join our Facebook group and make sure you subscribe to this channel. We share an awful lot of our pictures on Facebook of what we're working on, and we do have a very, very nice time over there. So make sure you join that too. I'll see you again really soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.